Welcome to Sci-Futures podcast. We are the podcast that imagines what it's like to live in future sci-fi worlds. And every week I host this. This is me, Wee Claire, and I co-host it with the lovely Rupert Booth.
Yeah. Hello there.
Yay! Rupert.
Hello.
So, last week we talked about the War of the Worlds, the 50s film.
Yeah.
And I can't remember how we got on to the topic of Angel Delight, but I have mine waiting for this podcast. Where is your Angel Delight? Tell me whilst I eat.
So I had a really busy, unexpectedly busy several days, which meant that I forgot about Angel Delight until Claire reminded me this afternoon by text, whereupon I did actually go out and try and get Angel Delight, but failed, because there doesn't seem to be any Angel Delight in the local area. Maybe there's been a run, I don't know. So I've got Marmite. Marmite.
I have Angel Delight. Rupert has Marmite.
Marmite. Can we get sponsorship now? Marmite.
Can we just get sponsored by all the food stuff, please?
That'd be great, yeah. I could live on Angel Delight and Marmite for the rest of my life. It'd be brilliant.
So how much, before we even start, I have to address this Marmite thing, because I hate Marmite. What is it about Marmite? No, I'm one of them.
I'm the other one. I've always adored Marmite from having Marmite on cheese and toast in the 70s as a wee child thing. And I still love Marmite. I can eat Marmite out of the jar with my finger.
Cheese on toast, actually, the cheese helps it, but...
Try it on pizzas as well for the same thing, because it melts into the cheese. It kind of makes the cheese tangier.
Okay, alright, okay. In fact, actually, I think Marmite and Strawberry Delight are a good combo for this, because we're about to talk about Alien.
Yes. How's the Marmite work?
It's dark like the Alien.
It's kind of sickly and sort of, kind of got that. Oh, no, that kind of works. It's kind of alien skin texture in gloop form.
Yeah,
fair enough.
And this is kind of, post chest burster. So, this is...
Just for a second there, my strange mind went, I wonder if you could make a full-size alien out of Marmite. And then it went, of course you couldn't. Why would you even try, you fool?
I hope that you're not challenged to do that for the next podcast.
I haven't got time.
Never say these things out loud, because they will be picked up.
Hey, plasticine, I'll build you an alien. I've built aliens out of plasticine in my day.
Oh, okay, so let's get into Alien. Right.
Alien. So get into it in that way.
Let's get in. Well, okay, let's just get round it then. Let's get round it.
Let's get around the alien and walk as far away from it as possible. That's what I'd do.
Let's get round it, over it, explode it, eject it, but let's not get into it.
Yeah, and then go back to the cave.
And then back to the cave.
Then back to the cave where butt naked Scotsman's waiting. Going, you've saved the day.
I love how we're now combining every stupid idea we've had on stream into one universe.
We're building our own mythos.
Yes. So I love it. Now, Alien. Why did you choose Alien? Now, this is 41 years old, this film, and it has not aged a day. It's not aged a day. It looks beautiful. Yeah. It still looks amazing. So, why?
There's nothing wrong with Alien at all, is there? I think the only places you could say it looks a little bit dated is in the kind of computer graphics, which are all very kind of green screen, kind of
yes.
type stuff. But but it looks utilitarian, and it looks like it does what it's supposed to. So actually, you can kind of get away with it. Why would it be fancy and iPad-like? You don't want that. You want something that's going to go clunk and not break.
Yes, absolutely. And also some of the effects, although the effects are amazing.
Yeah.
It's only in some of the effects, which is explained if you watch some of the special featurettes, that Ridley Scott goes, we couldn't do this with the, Ash's head, is like this, the latex and stuff shrunk, and we couldn't really fix it, and we're under budget constraints. So that sometimes looked a bit dodgy when they set it on fire, but I think, honestly, the fact this film would stand up today if it was released now. If it was released now, I think it would still be a hit. I do not say that lightly, because now we have all of the bells and whistles, right?
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, when you see queues around the block for a sci-fi film, I think, God, now we're only doing that for things like Star Wars or the Avengers or whatever, and that's a weird film
that was the experience that I grew up with. Queues around the block for these things, for Battlestar Galactica, for Superman, for Alien, for the Black Hole.
Yeah.
All this slew of stuff, of imaginative stuff that came out after Star Wars, basically.
Yes.
And because of Star Wars, that was very much an experience. But Alien, of course, I didn't see. I was far too young to see a thing like Alien.
No, I was very young. I saw it after the fact.
Of course, I was actually around in 1979, but I wasn't. By no means was I old enough to be taken to see Alien.
I was just a thought, or maybe not even a thought.
You were a twinkle.
I was a twinkle. I was in the ether, floating around in a star.
You were in the ether as an abandoned concept yet to be personified.
Yeah, totally. Then all of a sudden, I was just like pulled down from my like ethereal essence.
Indeed.
And
stuck here ever since.
Here we are. Existence is pain and all that.
Wonderful. After you're so Scottish.
Hey, I was about to go happy, but I've got angel delight, so that makes it okay.
Existence is pain, but hey, I've got angel delight. Well, you know.
Whatever I say is okay. Whatever I say is now positive.
It's shallow, but we'll go with it.
Exactly. Hey, don't knock my shit and angel delight, please. Don't knock it.
I wouldn't dream of knocking your shit. I promise you, that's not on my agenda.
Let's go. Let's look at Alien, and let's look at some Alien facts. Right, we know it was released in 1979. Yep. Entertainment Weekly actually voted this the third scariest movie of all time. I don't know what was number 1 and number 2. And other films released this year and that year, 1979, were films like The Warriors, which is a great film. I love The Warriors. The Brood, also great. Mm-hmm. Star Trek: The Motion Picture, also great.
Yeah.
And this film was originally called Star Beast, which is really strange. Do you think it would have the same impact if it was called Star Beast, Rupert?
No. It would lessen. It would have much of the same impact, but it would still have a bloody stupid 50s sounding title like Star Beast. Mm-hmm. Alien is. The title Alien sums up the entire film to me. It's so pared down. It's just exactly what you need and nothing else. Mm-hmm. The effects, the model shots, for example, the beautiful, beautiful model shots. There are no space battles in this. It's just the ship flying through space, alone and cold and silent, like 2001. Very realistic. There's no sound in space. No one can hear you scream.
No. And I forget that
perfect title.
Those opening scenes actually, and I think you relate that well, the title to the feeling. And I forget about the opening scenes. I watched this again yesterday. It's very still.
Very small.
Very still and dark and very. You've got a soundtrack. There's a soundtrack there, and you can hear it, but it's just very tranquil, but you feel like it's claustrophobic, impending doom.
It's slow. It's slow. They wake up slowly, like you would. It's very realistic in that way again. And again, from the word go, the sets look like real functioning things. The people are not acting like people in Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
No,
they're acting utterly straight. No artifice. When I first saw a clip, should I go through my experience of coming to it, because it's one from the time, but
please.
Too young. So the first thing I knew was that there was this film, science fiction film, and I remember kind of going, "Oh, can I go and see Alien?" And very rapidly the answer came, "No, I don't think so. Let's go and see Star Trek: The Motion Picture." Yeah, let's do that. But I didn't know why, so it was kind of intriguing. Kind of like, I'm not allowed to see that one. I wonder why. Then I saw the poster. And from that, and the tagline, "In space, no one can hear you scream," that chilled me as an 8-year-old. Mm-hmm. The concept made me think and go, wow.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's scary as a thought. And the thing, it's the egg, obviously, with the green light coming out the top. I assumed this was the alien's head. And its head opened up and green energy came out and it did something to you with the green energy, That was my first concept of what this was about, that there was this ovoid-headed bloke-shaped thing that would kind of, but that it was something like Star Wars or Doctor Who or, a story like that.
Yes.
But I was resolutely not allowed to see it. And I remember there being a furore on the news and things like that and in papers. It became a bit of a thing. It's kind of like, oh, should this be allowed? This is terrifying,
As with every boundary pushing thing, and I think Ridley it really was pushing the boundaries with Blade Runner, and then this, because he or this then Blade Runner.
This then Blade Runner, yeah.
But he really was pushing those boundaries, and that always happens with the media, because we've never seen anything like this before. This is incredible.
It's a story to jump on and popularise as much as it like. There's nothing as popular as public outrage.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Which, of course, just made it more interesting to me. I was kind of like, what's all the fuss about? How bad can it be at the age of 8, and then 9, and then 10? The next experience I remember of it was that I went into a model shop in Newcastle, as I frequently did, and there was this foot-tall model of the alien from Alien. And it was built, someone had built it and painted it, and even just the model scared the shite out of me because it was so horrific. And I was staring at it, and it's kind of, the skeletal aspect, the rib cage and all that sort of thing, that went right to the hindbrain. The whole kind of elongated oiliness of it, and then that head that's just not a head that you recognise at all, of any kind, a carapace, like an insect. And the second jaw that clearly comes out, I was just... Yeah, that's what this film's about. Okay.
Have you seen the original drawings for what they were?
Yes.
Yeah, because the original drawings for Alien, before they got Giger involved in a really big way, they had artists that had drawn these kind of like really strange, like kind of, again, they look more 50s sort of sci-fi type aliens. It just would not have been the same. I think it works that, you get those little teeth. And the kind of saliva.
It's a completely realistic creature. You can totally believe in it.
Oh,
even though it's basically a man in a rubber suit, exactly like the sort of stuff that Doctor Who was doing at the time, a bit more finessed and with Giger, but shot totally differently. Oh, yeah. Shot with so much more time and effort on the lighting and all that sort of thing. Yeah, they just couldn't do that on Doctor Who. But it's kind of, as a suit, nothing special, nothing new, but the design of it, but bringing Giga in is what's new, and it never fails to convince for a second.
It's genius that they got him in, and that way that they, not just on the alien design, but the fact that they, the whole world is built around Giger's art. And we see that all the way through, right through to Prometheus, when you go, because obviously we have the franchise now, and it's seeped all the way through. And although I wasn't a big fan of the story of Prometheus, it's a beautiful looking film. Like It's
a gorgeous looking film.
Gorgeous.
I'm never quite sure about it. I always end Prometheus by going, I'm still not sure about this.
Yeah, me too. I enjoy it when I watch it, because I'm like, it hits certain notes where I'm like, oh, it's a bit of action, there's a bit of suspense, and
but it's interesting concepts and things.
There's something about Alien 1979. I mean, the James Cameron's Aliens was a completely different film.
Yes.
But in 1979, that Alien, again, I think you hit the nail on the head when you talked about the actors. And you have they're playing it very straight. There's a very small crew. It's very claustrophobic.
And also the setting is realistic. There are no Jedi Knights. There are no speaking robot. Well, there's a speaking robot, but it's not like R2 and 3PO.
No.
There's nothing like a Dalek. There's none of the sort of usual science fiction. This is not Star Trek.
Yeah. No, it's not.
This is the future. This is you guys right now driving your trucks and things. But imagine that 200 years in the future, and that's immediately, and that hadn't really been seen in that way in science fiction, I think.
No, I think so too. Like this could happen. This is what, because humans don't change. Technology changes. We might live in a certain place. We might travel to different places.
Mm-hmm.
But humans and their infighting and the hierarchy, because you see a lot of that where she's not wanting. So when you have the face hugger on Joan Hart's character, and she doesn't want to let them in, rightly so. She's like, I'm not going to let you in, I'm not letting you in. And they supersede her. They don't really they're not listening to her. You always get those human relationships. It feels quite tense. Everything's very tense.
There's an interesting little parallel to the modern, to the moment, just to interject there, when you were saying about, you've got the person who's got the thing. Are you going to let them in or not? Imagine if you knew someone who had the current thing, who was knocking on your door saying, please let me in.
What would you do? Like, okay.
What would you do? That's Ripley's decision.
So what would you do then? Like, so imagine I'm like knocking on your door. And I'm like,
I'd have to take it going outside and just put it down. I'm sorry. It's the only safe thing to do.
So harsh.
Sentiment breeds weakness. Let it get hold of you, and you are dead," said Avon from Blake 7.
I can see where this cave FMV is going. I can see where this cave FMV is going. You guys, like, definitely. What were your thoughts on the franchise? I only touched upon Aliens, and I touched upon Prometheus. But what are your thoughts on the franchise? We're going to forget Alien versus Predator because that is just a bit of a shit show. But like with the franchise as a whole, what do you think of it?
I think, to my mind, there's Alien and then there's everything else. Aliens is a fine film in its own right. I don't think it's half the film that Alien is, because it doesn't incept, and Alien does. It's a follow-on, and because it's it's less groundbreaking. It's an action film. It's a science fiction action film, and there were kind of quite a lot of them by that point in the 80s. It's a very, very good one. But to me, there's not as much depth and certainly not as much beauty to it as Alien.
No, the beauty's missing. I think the beauty is missing.
The beauty, and the beauty is missing because you haven't got Ridley Scott and Giga working on it.
Yeah, it's very James Cameron.
It's very James Cameron, and that's no bad thing.
No.
But it's not as great. I think Alien is a great film. I think Aliens is a good film.
Yes. Thing is, I love David Fincher, but when he did the third Alien, I think he was sort of held back a lot by the studio. I think there was constraints there.
The production history of that one seems like a right bloody mess, and it kind of comes out as a right bloody mess.
It's a bit. There's elements of it. I'm like, this could have been really good.
There's loads of great stuff, but the ideas about this sort of wooden world, the wooden space station that's this monastery of monks and things that was one of the original ideas. That's instantly so much more interesting.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Do that.
Yes. So it feels a bit of a mishmash, and then Alien Resurrection is like it's a strange.
It's the fourth one.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bit like Superman 4.
Yeah. I watch it. I'm like, when it's on TV, I'm like, okay, I'm watching this. It's fine.
Yeah, I kind of don't actually anymore. I've become a bit of a Nazi over the years, over the Alien films. I've kind of gone, look, 1, 2, and I can tolerate 3.
But nothing else.
And then I think it gets a bit and then there's Prometheus, which I'm like I say, I'm kind of agnostic about.
What about Covenant? Alien Covenant? Did you see that one?
No.
It's okay. It's got more of the horror, but it's okay. Like, it's okay.
You see, the other thing is, I don't think there's actually all that much you can do with those aliens. They don't talk to you. They don't develop as characters. They don't do anything else apart from what they do, and they do that very well. But once you've seen it, and really, you do it once in Alien, which is one of them against the humans who haven't got the weaponry, and then you do the inverse of that in the second one, quite rightly, which is the Marines come in who can actually blow the shit out of them, but still. There's a lot of them and they're coming through the ceiling. After you've done that, there's not a huge amount you can do, I think, with the xenomorph.
This is the thing, like, that I think made when I was watching it yesterday again. Like, I love the fact that we didn't see the alien that much, really. Even when she discovers the alien in the spaceship and the shuttle that she's kind of escaped in, you see the arm first. You're like, oh, okay, and then
isn't it horrible?
Oh my god!
And you just think, oh no, she was so close. The first time I watched that, I thought, oh, she was so close.
Yeah, exactly. And then she's like, right, okay, I've got to get this done, right? And she's like, she's a great action hero because she's scared and she brings a humanity to it. Because wouldn't you be scared shitless?
And the lovely thing about Ripley is that she is not put forward as the chosen one from word go. She's the one who survives partially by being not in the wrong place at the wrong time, and then through her own bloody gumption, absolutely. But it's she's not the heroine. She's one of the ensemble cast, and not even one of the big ones.
No.
A name like Yaphet Kotto is much bigger than she is then.
Yes.
She's a kind of secondary character, and that makes it even more real. She's not even the special one.
No, she's just a
in story terms,
just a kind of. I think I read an interview with her.
She's drunk.
Yeah, she's just sort of getting on with it, and just so happens. Drunk. Yeah, absolutely. And sort of gets, and it's through. I kind of like to see her. I like seeing her progression through the years, regardless of what the films are like.
That is one thing that is always rewarding. Yes, Sigourney Weaver always gives good value and always is careful to move the character on and develop her. She's clearly very attached to Ripley and very proprietorial of her and isn't going to have any bullshit. She's, she'll
Absolutely.
she'll do her bit as an actress, and and never puts a foot wrong.
Absolutely, I think of her in the same way as like Linda Hamilton does Sarah Connor.
Yes,
She's like,
yes.
that's
Oh,
my
totally.
character. I
Totally.
only come out again if it's done right or I like this, and it's like,
Yeah.
right, okay. And
Yeah.
so I like that about her.
Absolutely.
But why with Prometheus? Why do you think it's such a divider of people? Because when I speak to people who love Alien and Aliens and the Alien films, some people hated Prometheus and some
Yeah.
people loved it. They loved it.
We're back to the Marmite, aren't we? Prometheus is Marmite.
It is. It is.
I'm eating Prometheus at the moment. No, that sounds horrible. Forget I said that. And yeah, and this is the thing. I can't answer it because I don't know what's wrong with it. But I know there's something not right with it for me.
What
But
about you?
I couldn't tell you. I can't put my finger on it.
What about anyone in the chat wants to comment? Did you love or hate Prometheus? Why does it divide people? Because I know for a fact from reading the chat right now, some people are enjoying it. Some people didn't enjoy it. Warner Child here says Covenant was awful. I thought Covenant was a bit of a mess. And my problem with Covenant is it was too obviously horror. And I saw too much of the alien thing, and I was like, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this.
Yeah.
Warner says, because it's a Team Ridley versus Team Cameron, that's the divide, which Ridley addressed with Covenant, says Warner Child Fair. But, like, I'm wondering why Prometheus was such a divide. Nikki says, Prometheus and Covenant explain far too much. So there's too much.
Interesting. That's very valid. I think that ties into the whole thing of me saying you can't do much with the xenomorphs. You don't actually want to know too much about them. They do their thing. They have knowing that there's a queen who lays the eggs. That's kind of all you need to know, really.
Yeah,
Keep them mysterious, like Ridley does in the first film. You keep them in the shadows.
Yes.
In terms of concept.
Yes.
You don't need to explain them,
Yes, I honestly, like, this is what I had a problem with when it came to, so I like Predator 2, right? Predator's brilliant. But I watched the very recent Predator, and, like, he's a big villain with a big bad voice that speaks to the humans. I'm like, I don't want to know this.
That's not right. No, don't mess with it. Do the Daleks in Doctor Who. The Daleks in Doctor Who are exactly basically like the Daleks were in 1963.
Yeah, just keep them as mysterious as possible.
They're those things that are shaped like that, and they want to exterminate you.
Yeah, that's all. Sometimes I think that's all we need to know. You don't have to force feed people. I don't think you do.
Absolutely, I agree entirely. And it makes your own imagination work. It makes you dream about. I wonder what the xenomorph culture's like. I wonder how and having the freedom to think about yourself without having canons stamping on what your imaginations come up with is sometimes quite nice.
Exactly. Let's look at some iconic moments now with Alien. Okay, so Sigourney Weaver, as we rightly said earlier, I think she's pretty much cemented her place as one of sci-fi's most formidable action stars.
I think she invented that kind of action heroine. I think she and Ridley Scott and the writers between them invented that kind of action heroine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who's a real person. Maybe in a way even that kind of action hero, thinking about it, because again, male figures before then are more overplayed, I'd say. Maybe you get some in westerns, but even that's overplayed.
Do you think it would have been the same if a man had played this? Because before, I think there was talks of this being a male role, and then they were like, no, we'll keep it unisex, it doesn't matter.
It wouldn't have been half as strong and half as groundbreaking, and it was totally the right decision and totally the right casting.
Absolutely. And I think the cast at the time didn't think she was doing a good job as well. They actually didn't think she was doing a very good job at all. And it's like, no, she's. I mean, I cannot believe that they thought that, but I thought she was great. This.
Yeah. Oh, she's amazing. Some performances pretty much everyone agrees on. I've never heard anyone say a bad word about Sigourney Weaver playing Ripley.
No. And, this is the thing about Ripley, which I think makes her a very good action star. Actually, this is what makes anybody a good action star. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. I think when an action film is based on the hero getting the girl or the boy at the end, and there's some kind of element of that, and it becomes unreal. For me, Ripley is just like, I'm a young person in this ship trying to get through an extraordinary
trying to survive. Trying to survive this total catastrophe that I was not prepared for, that's just killed everyone.
Exactly. And she doesn't... It's not like she's facing off going, come on,
No.
She's actually trying to hide. She's trying to escape. She's just trying to get away. There's no point does she face off. Yeah, we see a little bit of that in Aliens because she's kind of faced them before.
Also because she's protecting Newt. She's got she's got mothering impulses going on towards Newt by that point.
Yeah, absolutely.
So and logically she has to distract the thing. So standing there in a massive power load to go and get off of your bitch is actually reasonable.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a thing to do. It's not that kind of boring machismo that heroes sometimes have to do.
No.
No. It's totally justifiable.
Absolutely. This is the same with, again, I think about this with Sarah Connor, Linda Hamilton. Both of these actors have just played the role like they would play it in their as them. I guess they're like, well, what would I do?
Soap.
Yeah.
Or something like absolutely just straight down. Well, not a soap, they aren't. Yeah, but something that's just absolutely like walking off the street. No, basically acting without acting.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and this is the thing. Like when you're, and I spoke to so I interviewed Jamie Lee Curtis about a year and a half ago, and we were speaking about.
She casually throws into the conversation.
I love her. She's amazing.
She's fantastic.
So I've spoken to her. I've interviewed Linda Hamilton, and the next one I want to interview is Sigourney Weaver. I really do. That would make my day.
Yeah.
It'd make my blooming century. But Jamie.
Can I carry your Angel Delight on that day?
Yes, you can absolutely.
Right.
Like him as a strange man at the back. It's okay. He's my Angel Delight PA.
I'm the Angel Delight handler. Just calm yourself. Calm yourself, Sigourney. Thank you.
So, do you want some?
A bit of professionalism here, please.
Oh my God!
Don't diss my job.
Sigourney, if you're ever listening, or if you ever listen to this podcast, I would love to interview you. We will bring our own Angel Delight, and Rupert will come and handle the Angel Delight for us.
I will wrangle the entire Angel Delight situation because I've clearly got such a good track record of it after today. I might just be giving Sigourney Weaver Marmite. I'm just going to warn you that.
I come to my interviews with Angel Delight wranglers.
Here you are, Sigourney Weaver. Here is Marmite for you.
Yes.
Thank you for your service.
Yes, please. Come on, Sigourney. If that wasn't like an advert for this.
I mean, in all fairness, that's not a bad offer. That's pretty good.
Hey, that's a really good offer. Who brings their own Angel Delight and Wrangler to an interview?
And Marmite, depending on the taste of the interview.
And Marmite. Yep. I love that. If she goes, no, I'm not into sugar right now. You just reach into your pocket and go, well, have I got something for you?
Behold, Sigourney Weaver. Behold my yeasty extract.
Oh!
That's what it is. It's a yeasty extract.
I don't know if you want to be saying, behold my yeasty extract, an icon like Sigourney Weaver.
No, that's exactly what I want to be doing. Just for the surrealism of it. Of course I'll waste beating Sigourney Weaver by talking about yeasty extracts. Of course I'll do.
Oh my God. Oh, anyway, Jamie Lee Curtis was talking about...
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, back to Jamie Lee Curtis. She was talking about the fact I didn't say I went into the interview, so people were coming out the interview, right, and I was listening to the different writers and journalists, and they were going, oh God, she's so scary, oh my God. So I was like, right, I'm gonna have to play this differently when I go in. It was quite good listening. So I rewrote all my questions, and I went in and I said to her, okay, so you play a really iconic horror character, in Laurie. She's clearly, I guess you could say, a badass, but what about the trauma? And then immediately or something like that. You can watch that on YouTube, folks, if you want to go see that interview. And Jamie said, thank God that you've said that, because yes, and she talked about the trauma of actually what it would mean for someone now in her age, like 60s, to come through a life where you're constantly looking over your shoulder because this horrible thing happened to you when you were 18. Yeah. So we talked about that, and that's why I think about Linda Hamilton, and that's why I think about Sigourney Weaver. Yeah. They're playing it like real people. Like,
I mean, I love the fact that they address that in Alien. The company comes through and says, you need to go back out there, and she goes, no fucking way.
Yeah.
I am not going near those things ever again.
Yeah, absolutely.
No.
Why would you?
And has to be talked round by basically emotional blackmail, so, well, people will suffer. But her first response is no, absolutely not. I can't.
I wouldn't. I'd be like, F that shit.
I wouldn't. I don't care, Colonial Marines. I don't care. Let's send the Colonial Marines.
Yeah.
I'll Skype them from Earth, just going, look, be careful of this, all right? That they got us that way. They got Dallas that way. So just watch out for that one while sipping my Horlicks and eating my Angel Delight with Marmite topping.
Absolutely. Like, I've come through this shit. I'm not going back there. Like, that's their life choice. That is their life choice.
I'm in the cave.
Yeah, I'm in the cave. I'm in the cave as well.
You know,
I'm in the cave with the gerbil. I'm in the cave with the gerbil.
So the cave with the gerbil and Sigourney Weaver. You know, that's what Ripley wants to do at that point. She wants to go to the cave and just go, no.
Well, she's looking at us going, so, why is it you guys aren't talking to each other? I'm like, well, I don't know. I mean, all I did was ask him to unscrew the entrance of the cave, but he won't do what I say. Well, I don't want to do what you say, because what if there's something out there? And then she's just like, right, okay, guys.
Like, she just gets a flamethrower and goes, well, I'll kill it then with fire. Because I kill aliens, me.
I feel like she would just probably leave the cave and go, I'll just leave you guys to this.
She probably would, or she might kill us with fire first and then leave the cave.
Yeah,
you know,
totally.
I don't want to be killed with fire by Sigourney Weaver. Not when I've got yeasty extract to offer her.
Actually, I say that she enters a cave, and that first night you go, would you like some of my yeasty extract? She leaves the cave immediately. She leaves.
There's no problem. We survive.
She leaves, and she.
Thus, it's good to have my yeasty extract. It's a good thing.
It's good for you. It's good for you. Didn't you know? Didn't you know it's good for you? We've got Nikki Drinks here saying, I think the company being explained more in later films ruined it a bit. Just having this shadowy organization behind things was scary too, because they wanted the xenomorph. Plus the fact that Mother knew about it, but only told Ash because they knew none of the humans would go along with it. Yes, shadowy organizations, I prefer not to know too much about them.
And that's lovely, isn't it? The fact that halfway through this, Ripley realizes we've got an infiltrator, and we always have had, and oh shit, we're supposed to be here doing this, all dying, because this is kind of an experiment.
Exactly. It's that moment of realization.
And the fury with which she attacks Ash and decapitates him.
Oh, well, the fury in which he actually attacks her back.
Absolutely.
Whoa.
Yes, that's terrifying. That's really, Ian Holm, magnificent.
He is brilliant. He's so dead behind the eyes. It's
so dead
great.
Behind the eyes, and when you realise he's a robot, you kind of go, oh shit, he was always dead behind the eyes. I just didn't take it in. I didn't quite get it, but he was always doing it very subtly beforehand when he's just the medical officer, you think.
It's so good. Like, for those who have seen Alien in the chat, tell us what your favourite moments are in the film, because I would say, okay, apart from the beginning when they're exploring, where the space jockey bit and stuff, I think that all looks...
that beautiful wreckage. That's apparently made out of polystyrene and covered with plasticine detail.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, we've just to interrupt you, we've just had a raid. Hi Sheila, thank you very much for your raid. And can I just ask that the raiders please click on this link here. A raid is when somebody from one stream comes to another.
Oh.
That's all. We're teaching Rupert stuff.
Right. I was thinking pirates. Yeah. or the police turning up. You're having a raid. What? Hello. What's
Raiders. We are talking about Alien, just to catch you up. We are talking about what it would be like to live in the world of Alien, and you just missed a bit about Rupert talking about his yeasty extract.
Yes.
It's a long story, but nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that.
Sigourney Weaver might. Don't speak for Sigourney.
So okay, I won't.
She'll kill you with fire.
Yeah, she actually will. But anyway, what iconic moments in the film Alien? Chatters, please let us know. What are your most iconic moments? Because for me, I think that the fight with Ash, even more than the chestburster scene, because the way he stuffs the magazine down her mouth.
So for me, it has to be the chestburster, because so going back to what I was saying earlier about my experience of it and being too young to watch it, the first time I saw a clip of it was on a BBC Kids quiz show called Screen Test. And it was, I think, the lead up to the chestburster sequence, but not the actual thing itself.
Yeah.
And even that unnerved me. Now that was in a kids show slot. That was before 5 o'clock. So I was surprised the show. Now thinking about it, I'm surprised the show looked of Alien at all. But it was a big thing. It was a big film. It was talked about. It was,
yeah.
And so I saw this clip and was very much struck by the reality of it, of the look of it and the actors, and thinking, this isn't like Star Wars. Oh, I'm not sure I like this. And I kind of went off the thought of Alien for a bit. And then finally, I think I saw it. It would be in the mid-'80s when it was on ITV for the first time. and oh my shit. And it was the chestburster scene. I think I had to go away from the telly for a bit after that because it was so deeply traumatizing. It was kind of like, whoa. I think I actually missed a bit of the film because it wasn't on video. I wasn't taping it. This was live broadcast. So kind of,
Even just the idea of, so regardless of the chestburster thing, because that comes, even just the face hugger.
The face hugger, yeah.
It's so invasive because
that
in the
was
way
pretty bad.
when they're trying to get the face hugger off and it's tightening around his neck. Yeah. Oh!
Yeah. And it's leaping out. You know, the shock moment of it leaping out of the egg. That was a kind of leap back across the room going, shit! Or whatever teenage words I use. Probably shit, actually.
I was like, I think when I was young, I was probably about 11, 12, 13, something like that when I saw it. So it was a lot later after it had been released. But I was like, I know I was hiding behind like a pillow or a cover. Like it was more the feeling, but not the sort of jump scare moments, but really it was the idea of a face hugger, the idea that they come from an egg, the idea that they burst out of your chest. I was like,
and they impregnate you through your throat.
They impregnate you.
And you have no choice. They kind of rape you in that way. You know, that's the implication.
Yeah, it's hot, and it doesn't matter who you are. Like,
not at all. Absolutely, no. This isn't a male or female thing. This is a totally. It isn't even done with malice. It's just this is how I do it, guys. Sorry, you're the host.
Yes, and
like in certain insects on Earth, you know, like real insects. Some do that. Some reproduce by laying the eggs inside a caterpillar, and then when the young hatch out of the eggs, they eat the caterpillar.
Oh God!
This is all from nature.
I know, but I hate. Damn nature, you scare.
And actually, thinking about it, a Doctor Who story from 1975.
Oh,
called The Ark in Space.
Nikki Drinks here says the bit with Dallas and the ducks is still horrible. The way it reaches out for him, almost worse when you know what's coming. Yeah. There's like loads of really good horror moments.
It's very good also at building that inevitability that you know it's coming. I mean, like I said earlier on, when Ripley finds the creature in the capsule at the end, when I first saw it, I thought, she got so far. I was convinced she was going to be killed as well. I'm delighted when she wasn't, but because it had been so implacable, and each killing makes it more invincible, and of course makes her team lesser. And now it's just it's a lovely structure. It's been done a million times in that sort of way. It's based on the siege type thing, people being picked off one by one, but not in this context, not with this kind of level of reality, and certainly not in science fiction.
No. Ellie says, face huggers are bad vibes. Nature is so brutal. Nature is brutal, and I think I think when we look around, I don't know, for you, Rupert, as a writer, do you look around at the world and take all of that in when you're writing things?
Look around you. I do. Of course. I'll go and just read random things about animals or science or stuff like that, just because it's all into the ideas factory. And it keeps it grounded in things that we kind of intuitively know about.
Yes, exactly. And also there's a lot of things about our world and our earth, like nature is so brutal, as Ellie said. Nature is so beautiful and so brutal. And there's something, I guess, I think very brutal and actually in a weird way beautiful, but the alien is terrifying. But it's a very beautiful, strange, creepy thing.
It's an astonishing piece of work how it can be so horrific and so beautiful at the same time. That's the genius for you. That's Giga for you.
Yes, absolutely.
That's where you need him.
Absolutely.
Someone like him. Well, there's no one like him to do that. You know.
Well, I feel his designs were slightly lost in Species, although I like the film Species. It's a completely stupid B movie from the 90s.
I remember it well. I liked the film Species for several reasons.
Yeah.
I remember Natasha Henstridge very clearly.
Oh, she was such a big thing. She was so huge.
Oh, she was in Species. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I remember a bunch of us when that film came out. I think in Leicester, we were all going down filming comedy stuff, and a bunch of us went to the cinema and probably got drunk and went to see Species and had a great time with it. It's not by any means a good film.
Honestly, I think the lesson to be learned for most young gentlemen, if you're approached by a beautiful blonde in the bar and she's not interested in drinks and she's interested in only babies, I think that is definitely
run away because Giga's got something to do with her, and you don't want that.
It's like, so would you like a drink, a gin, a wine? Like, what's your typical? I'll have your sperm, please. No.
No, you will. You will, as Tommy Wiseau would say, he will not.
No, no, no. So let's talk about the sci-fi future, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you've got here, like, we vilify the alien because it's bad and it goes after Sigourney Weaver's character Ripley, you know, so it's human versus alien, right?
No, it's not really bad, is it? It's just living.
Well, this is the thing.
Like I say, there's no malice that we know of. It's not killing them for fun. Well, or maybe it is. But I mean, but they find them webbed up, later, so they're being kept. That implies larder or procreation purpose.
Absolutely. We have to
malice.
consider this, like, the alien is born into a strange world, right? It could be scared, and it's like, and it only has a need to reproduce, and it has a need to live. We have a need to live. We have a need to, I guess, reproduce and go on. So, is it just scared? Do you think the humans failed to understand it? There's a failure of understanding.
I mean, I think its particular lifestyle means that it would kill all the humans anyway, or try to. I think that's simply what they do. It can't help that necessarily. Yeah. It might perhaps have. Obviously, can't really talk. It might be telepathic. It could have tried to communicate and go, "Hi guys, look, can I kill Dallas and eat him, and the rest of you be fine? Is that all right?" And Dallas is going, "What the fuck, man?" Or whatever. But I don't think that any attempts to communicate with it would have got anywhere. I think the only approach with something like that is kill it with fire.
But we've got the company, this shadowy organization, who clearly want to use the alien for their own shadowy purposes, because they want the sample brought back, right? So should the crew fear the company the same as the alien, if not more, do you think?
Well, this is where the alien, if you like, is kind of honest and pure. It's simply doing what it does because it must. Whereas the company is absolutely the opposite. The human side of it is knowing perfectly well what's going to happen to them, or at least wanting to find out. Like I said, using them as an experiment, seeing how effective a killer it is. And for use as a bioweapon, well, you need to prove if weapon works, don't you? So there you go. There's we'll send them there, and they'll get killed, and we'll monitor that.
Yes, absolutely.
Totally callous towards their staff.
Yeah, absolutely. We always find that in the best sci-fi films, from this to any of like Verhoeven's films, there's always some kind of corporate bad guy in a Verhoeven film. But the corporations and capitalism and all those kind of things, I think quite rightly so, are seen as real negative, impending doom type forces. I mean, the company's awful. The company's a really immoral organisation.
There was a lot of this that started in the late 70s and went through all the way through the 80s of suddenly people kind of going a bit kind of, hang on, corporate's not great, is it? Corporate isn't acting in our interests. Corporate wants purely to exploit us.
Yes, absolutely.
One way or the other. And hang on a minute, and that wasn't an awareness that I think had been around as much in the same way beforehand. Maybe in the 60s, maybe it was all kind of whole flower power bit, and because that kind of first version of woke. But it was certainly a theme. You get it again and again in 80s films. In Brazil, it's it's a different kind of establishment, but it's still distrust of those in control over you.
Absolutely. And I think we forgot a little bit about that in the 90s, because everything became colourful and big and bombastic.
Yeah.
And then even moving right into the noughties and things. But now I think people are starting to look at that again.
Now it's back again, very much so.
Because of what's happening.
And this time supported by the internet. This time we can all talk to each other and exchange opinions and ideas and information. It's much more difficult for the actions of these corporations to be hidden.
Absolutely.
It takes one person or one whistleblower and put it out on the net, and then 5 people spread it on Twitter, and that you can't put the genie back in the bottle. And we can all see it, and we can all, and like I say, we can talk to each other more easily and cross-reference across countries. And
absolutely.
Go, what are your lot doing? Yeah, our lot are doing this. Let's keep talking, guys. Let's just keep an eye here.
Absolutely. We've got Adam AG here has got a couple of points to make. So first point, it's a fun one. He's gone, I'm not sure I'd be saying the company if I was face to face with the alien. That's fair. And then his second point is RoboCop is the ultimate anti-corporate film, really. Yes.
Absolutely it is. Absolutely. And very much fits into this sort of style. There's this kind of pattern we're talking about of 80s films with these, it kind of, comes to an apotheosis with RoboCop, doesn't it? Absolutely. Very good point.
Absolutely. Like, it's that way where corporations and companies, and we're seeing it, I think, now. Everything's very relevant to now. We see governments I think what governments do and what companies do is they see people as numbers, pure numbers. They're not people. They're not. I don't think.
Hey, they said the word herd lately.
Yeah,
It is a
herd.
herd.
And I just don't feel like there is a care or a social responsibility that these people have. And it's the same with the company. The company very clearly go, crew expendable. And that's...
We own you. We own you. We can do what we like with you.
Exactly. Like you...
Is what they actually do here.
Exactly. Send you out there, they can cover it up, they can do what they like.
And that's how you treat slaves.
Exactly.
You know.
So we have these...
actually, yeah, I never thought of that. That's actually, yeah, they are kind of slaves of Weyland-Yutani.
Oh, 100%. And the reliance on tech, I wanted to touch upon that actually a little bit, because we are far flung into the future. Clearly we can travel, so far into the distant future. We've got all of this tech, but the crew are unable to conquer the alien that easily. I mean, it takes a lot for... she has to blast out the doors and then blast it with the... now, the kind of, so it's hard.
The tech is interesting, as you say. They can travel, for example, clearly at the sort of speeds that the Starship Enterprise can. But if they had just one hand phaser, the alien's gone.
Yeah, absolutely.
From a distance, disintegrate, done. See ya.
Absolutely.
So it's a bit of a shame that they haven't gone down the Federation route and developed the phasers and things. But of course, if you had that, there's no story. So it's an interesting world. It's got similarities to Star Wars in terms of the look of it, the used universe, but it's more down to earth even than Star Wars.
I like the idea though that I guess no matter what happens, and I think this is very true for what's happening for us right now during the corona apocalypse, but it doesn't matter how much tech we have and how advanced we are. Like, if nature takes its course, it's going to come and get us.
Oh, this has all been very humbling, hasn't it?
It's been very humbling. We can't, and people can go, we're going to get a vaccine. It's not going to be tomorrow. We're still not that far advanced, and it's the same. We
are going to get a vaccine. I'm sure of it, but don't get your hopes up right now. I'd say.
And
not being an expert, not being a scientist.
No, not being a scientist. I mean, hey, God, there could be a breakthrough, but there's manufacturing. There's all this.
It's not that easy. It's not that straightforward.
No, we don't. Yeah. We're not living in Star Trek times where everything could just, And it's the same with I mean, imagine
that's
we
Dr.
had
McCoy's one. Because that's my era. It's got to be Dr. McCoy's one. Sorry.
Oh, I love Dr. McCoy. Yes.
Yeah, Dr. McCoy.
And also, if we think about Alien, right? Imagine an alien like we see in 1979's Alien comes down here, wreaks havoc. That's almost like a disease in itself, because as soon as they start spawning and as soon as they start capturing humans and impregnating, it's very hard.
Well, you need the alien queen to be here then, wouldn't you? Can I tell my alien queen story?
Yes, please tell your alien queen story.
So I know a lady who helped build the alien queen. A fantastic prop model maker, effects person called Christine Overs. Lovely, lovely lady, also Scottish. And she's told me many stories about building the alien queen and building the smart guns, and working on things like time bandits as well. So
amazing.
I see your Jamie Lee Curtis. I raise you my Chrissy Overs.
That is quite cool. That is quite cool. Although I have also interviewed Linda Hamilton, so that's double. That's double the coolness.
Tom Baker.
Okay. All right, he's back. So, do you think if there was an alien species, right? So, if we talk about the sci-future, right? Sci-fi future.
Yeah.
If there was an alien species like this, do you think we would try and kill it, understand it, or use it like the company?
All three. If we had any sense, we'd try to understand it first, but we haven't got any sense, so we try to use it like the company and end up trying to kill it because it wouldn't be able to be used like the company wants, because it's the fucking xenomorphs, and they do that rather than what you want them to do. They kill you. And
that's a question for the chat as well.
Go well. Best thing to do, I tell you, it would be exactly the same solution as the Martians last week. You take one look at it and go, no, and go in the other direction.
Yeah, I'm in the cave. I'm back in the cave again.
I'm back in the cave where the aliens aren't.
Yeah, I'm back in that cave, far away. Like, they can have their own cave, and the cave systems are not connected.
That's fine. They're not connected. They're in different parts of the world. They're on different worlds.
Yeah.
And frankly, as far as I was concerned, if I could borrow the Death Star from a different universe, I'd then take the Death Star and destroy that world. And that's good. That's dealt with, because otherwise, I'm going to wake up with a spider on my head.
And it's a question for the chat as well. What do you think we would do? Would we kill it? understand it, use it. What do you think? Do you think we would use it like a bioweapon? Do you think that would be the thing? Like, trying to like get other countries, other governments, like take them down. Would it be that kind of thing? Do you think?
But I mean, it wouldn't make any sense because. Sorry, do you want the chap to answer rather than me?
No, you.
Because we know they can be destroyed by bullets from aliens.
Yes.
So I mean, if you have a tank and a horde of aliens, the tank's going to win because it's a ranged weapon. The aliens haven't got range weapons. That's where they fall down. 1-on-1, you and an alien, you ain't got a chance. But if you've got a gun, or if you're in a tank, or if you've really got a big jar of Marmite you can throw from a distance, maybe by a trebuchet. A trebuchet with a Marmite, then you've got a chance against the aliens.
I reckon the aliens hate Marmite, and that might be the secret weapon.
Bioweapon, it's a different bioweapon.
Kind of in the same way, right? That in Predator, Arnie lathers himself in mud. You lather yourself in Marmite.
Marmite, and they can't.
No.
My impression of an alien.
No.
Because
So I reckon, guys, if that ever happens, lather yourself in Marmite.
it'll be a laugh if nothing else. I mean, we're all going to die, so you might as well do something to make people laugh, right?
I like that the maybe like just this kind of like horde of people. They've got Marmite, and then the aliens they look at them and they're like, yeah, that's not doing anything for us, so you're dead. Thank you.
Or wouldn't it be glorious if the world is mocking us as we lather ourselves in Marmite, and then it actually does work, and the aliens run away from us, going, "Nah, I don't like Marmite," and everyone else dies, and we're the smug ones going, "You see?"
Yeah, exactly. There you go. I'm
the children of the yeasty extract.
And I'm eating Angel Delight going, oh shit.
Absolutely, yeah. I knew I shouldn't have used Angel Delight. The aliens like Angel Delight, damn. Because it reminds me of John Hurt.
Like, shit.
To bring it full circle.
We've got Cactus Snacks in the chat going, at any given time, the humanity's curiosity will ultimately be its downfall. Do you agree, Rupert?
Yes, but also its salvation.
Oh, really? Okay. So.
Well, because how else? Because without curiosity, how do we make discoveries?
That's true. That's very, very true. Yeah, we need a bit of both. We do need a bit of both. Nikki Drink says, I think it'd be a bioweapon that could only ever be used once because it'd be impossible to contain.
Yeah.
So like a kind of this is a last chance kind of thing, like, kind of let's just go for it. And Adam AG says, well, xenomorphs don't make cool explosions, do they? So the West wouldn't be too keen on using it, says Adam AG. And Kelto says, oh, I love me some Marmite. I hate those pesky aliens already.
You're going to survive. We're going to survive this apocalypse. When the aliens come, good.
It's kind of like that divide between like the time in H.G. Wells' The Time Machines. Instead of the Morlocks and stuff, you've got the Marmites.
We're the enlightened ones because we're going to survive the alien apocalypse.
We're like the underground kind of Angel
I'm afraid
Delight
you're
people.
the Morlocks, guys.
Yeah, we're now the Morlocks. Yeah, Angel Delight folks are now the Morlocks.
Trust the yeast extract. Trust it.
There's been a lot of talk about Rupert's trusty yeast extract in this,
and there'll be more.
And I definitely, if you ever write the Cave FMV, Marmite needs to feature heavily.
Once I've cleared a few of the current projects off, let's actually talk about that. Why not?
Oh my god! What Cactus is saying? What if the aliens met with Bovril? And Nikki Drinks goes, the Bovrils. So
nice.
What if they met with
Bovril?
Bovril
Have the same effect? It's not a yeast extract. Is it a yeast extract or is it a beef byproduct? God, these things sound horrible in concept, don't they?
Yeah. I can neither confirm nor deny.
I suppose the internet would, but I can't be bothered.
Thomas Hay says, just make facehuggers sterile and send them to incapacitate the enemy. Oh, so you could just you could genetically engineer them to be sterile, and then they would just incapacitate the enemy.
But or you kind of use them like the typhoid blankets that some commander used back in the day. You couldn't breach a fort, so what they did was they got all the blankets from their typhoid victims and they threw them over, and that infected the people inside the typhoid, and they died. And they go early germ warfare. So you'd send them a pile of eggs.
Oh.
And you'd go, have a look at that, scramble that.
Scramble that.
And they have a look at it, and it's go.
I mean, I'd fall for that because I love an egg. me.
I wouldn't, because the egg that would turn up would be this massive alien horror thing, and I've seen Alien. I'm going to hop off to the cave.
No, you're back in your cave again. All Sci-Future answers end in back in the cave.
We'll find one that doesn't eventually. We'll do a film about cave-dwelling super beings that kill you if you go into caves, where the worst thing to do would be to go into... Actually, I can think of something.
So all caves are off limits in this other... Like, in the sequel.
When we come across that film, yeah. But,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but I'm living for the cave right now. I'm into the cave.
The Cave FMV, we will actually seriously, I think, talk about at some point. And why not?
Yeah, why not? Like, it's fine. We're in lockdown. We've got nothing else to do. Let's just talk about Cave FMVs. I'm into it.
I've got millions of else to do. I don't understand how I can be so busy in lockdown. How did this happen?
I don't know why. Me too. I'm like, I have no time to sleep or eat. This is fun.
Brother, no. How could this happen? Yeah.
It has been. I can't believe it's the end of the show.
Is that the end? Oh,
yeah. Right. Yeah, it's the end. So, Rupert, what are we talking about next week? We did decide. You reveal it. You reveal it.
So, this came out of a conversation about Ripley. And I said earlier on, wouldn't it be good if we did a film next week, because Ripley, that's a fantastic advance in the depiction of women, a genuine step forward in film history, and maybe just history in general, is Ripley. The brain from Planet Arus is not that, in terms of the depictions of women. It's a 1950. All the films we've done so far have been kind of quite good, so we thought, let's do one of the ones that's really there. The history of science fiction, there's some great, some that's bad. And The Brain from Planet Arus is so bad, it's great.
Cannot wait. I've never seen this, so
it's on YouTube. If you haven't seen it, avail yourself of it before next week. You will not be disappointed. It is hilarious.
Maybe we could watch it. I'm trying. Oh no! I can maybe watch it on stream with people watching along with me.
Cool.
And then we can come to this.
You might need that. You might need the moral support.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I adore it. It's so terrible and so 50s and so silence, Earth mortal.
I'm looking into. I'm looking forward to.
Your puny weapons are as nothing, and there's a guy who can blow planes up at a distance with his special eyes, and that's kind of a bit like an FMV character that I've played recently. So I sort of like that.
I'm looking forward to this one. I think it'll be good to because Brazil was great. You know, it's a really, really beautiful film. It was great.
Yeah.
You know, The War of the Worlds, brilliant film. Alien, brilliant. Now we have to watch some schlock. So
War of the Worlds, though it's the same sort of era as this, is really expensive. It's kind of the Star Wars of its day. This isn't even the Doctor Who of its day. This isn't even the Tomorrow People of its day. No one's going to get these references.
I cannot wait.
This isn't even the Imagine very cheap thing that I'm trying to convey. It's oh my god, it's a treat.
I'm into it. The Rupert, tell us, where can we find you online?
You can find me on Twitter at the moment. I may have to expand that presence, but at the moment you can find me on Twitter.
And Twitter, make sure you follow Rupert Booth. He's also here every week on a Wednesday at 5:30 to 7. And you're always allowed to ask Rupert questions as we go along. Sometimes I pick out. Please ask Rupert questions. Sometimes I pick them up from the chat.
Tell you what, guys, I'm really enjoying your input to this. This is the kind of world all new to me. Claire's very much been showing me how to do this and all the ropes, but I love the way that you can talk to us and we can talk to you and ask questions and compare opinions. I mean, that's nice. That's nice.
That's what it's all
fun.
about.
I think it's fun. I hope you think it's fun.
I hope you guys are enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying it too. Give us any feedback as well, like in the Discord, like tweet us.
If you're a yeast extract.
Yeah, show us your yeast extract. Hey, and if you were watching along and eating Angel Delight.
My yeast extract.
Oh God, I can't even look at a bottle of Marmite. Blech. Hate. Guys, oh no, you're gonna eat it as is. Oh!
Love a bit of Marmite.
Oh yes. Well, if that wasn't an advert for this podcast, whatever will be. So...
Indeed, Sigourney, that could have been you.
So just.
Not that I'm. I mean, yeah, you know what I mean. Hi.
Right, we better go before Rupert gets too excited about Alien and Marmite. So, without further ado...
What other podcasters link those two things? No. Why? Because they can't.
Top content. You only come here for the best content. It's top content. Top content right here. This is why you guys are following and subbing.
Isn't it? I mean,
And guys, make sure you post us your Angel Delight pictures. If you were eating Angel Delight tonight and watching,
let's have Angel Delight on Twitter. Yeah, let's
have
the
it.
Angel Delight posse.
Let's have it. Right, Rupert.
Yes.
I will see you again next week, but I'll speak to you through the week.
Absolutely, I will definitely be in touch, as you know.
Yes, defo. I will speak to you soon. Take care, Rupert.
Be seeing you. Thanks, everyone.